All right, so let's talk about the 6 days times 60 minutes per day guideline. So this is basically a guideline that we like to use the lab here on how many days per week to exercise it and what sort of duration. As many times you may come in here with a specific goal, you may wonder how much you should exercise and how much time to put in. And you may have heard of various guidelines like you'll be healthier if you work out 3 days a week, 15 to 30 minutes per day, and things of that nature. But you're just improving your health at that point. Most people we see that come in here are really after some serious body composition change, fat loss. They want to gain lean body mass, things of that nature. But there's so much to be done in that amount of time that 60 minutes will actually fly by. And there's so much you can actually get done within those parameters. So likewise, to really obtain those goals, people are a little bit oblivious to how much time should be put in. You don't need to dedicate your whole life to this, but you do need to make it a significant part of your lifestyle and really put a lot of focus into this. Especially as you come into this, you really want to make sure you give this 100% mental focus and concentration and dedicate the same kind of amount of time per day. And I even recommend working out at the same time per day if you can, so you have the highest consistency possible and reliability that you're going to actually get it done. But the important thing about, first of all, to think about the 60 minutes per day at 6 days a week is that most people don't start off being very efficient in exercise or being very good at it. So, unless you can come in and just crank it for an hour like a ninja and burn it, nonstop with little rest at highest intensity, that's fantastic, and I would consider you efficient. So, but if you come in here and you're having struggles getting through basic sets and reps, you can barely get through an appropriate amount of sets and reps in an actual complete workout, then first of all, that's what's normal. But if you can't get through that, you have an uphill battle in front of you, and you're not, you don't have the best work density efficiency. So we really need to build up your work capacity first. So our first goal is to get, roughly about 400 to 600 calories on average burned per workout, or roughly 500 calories. If we can do that 6 days per week at 500 calories at a pop, we're getting about 3,000 calories burned per week. And with raises in resting metabolic rate, we might average out to about 3,500 calories per week. And that's 1 pound of dry fat loss. But that's considering, that's going to put us on a nice track to get to the sort of measurable fat loss goals you might be after. But you also got to consider the water weight involved with fat loss. So there's anywhere from 1 to 3 pounds or so of water weight that could be lost with every pound of dry fat loss. So when you add that up, you could lose some weight fast, but the problem is most people are not efficient in exercise, and their work capacity and density is not at the ability to burn 500 calories within a given hour. So that's your first goal. But if you're only working out 3 days per week, you got to consider, and you're only burning 250 calories per workout at best, you're only burning about 750 calories per week. And depending on how your diet changes and things of that nature, you're really not going to have any kind of measurable quick fat loss. You may become healthier, you may become more flexible, get a little bit more endurance, work capacity, strength, things of that nature, but really the measurable body composition changes you're after are not going to come too quickly. So the faster you can become efficient and can get to that point where you can burn so many calories per workout, or 500 on average, the better. Now we like to use an RP method where we can, or rating of perceived exertion, to kind of see on a scale from 1 to 10 how hard that workout is. And most of the time we try to ease that up, say first few days, first workout at least about a 5 to 7, and then as you go build that up to 7 or 8, and then eventually as you acclimate to the exercise process and you're recovering well and appropriately, we like to average out around 9s. So that lets us know that we're working hard, we're getting the most out of you that's possible and appropriate. But pushing 10s and beyond too often is not reasonable. It leads to injury and burnout, and that's the last thing you want. For this to be a lasting lifestyle change, it has to be something you can come in and do every day and not dread. So you got to earn that acquired taste to this and really enjoy and respect the process, and really get to the point where you feel you can't live without this. This should be a very rewarding experience. It should make you feel better, look better, function better, and improve all elements and qualities of your life. So when we look back again at 6 days of exercise, compared to say 3 days, is that it's very hard to set any kind of lasting habit by doing it every other day and intermittently like that. It's just like waking up or having breakfast, things of that nature. It's something you should do every single day and just be, in your mind consciously something you're going to get up and do and make as a habit. So it may seem like more of a mountain to climb each day if you're doing this every other day, and you might start to dread those days of the week. So the more you desensitize yourself to that process, and the more you make this just part of your routine, the easier it gets, and it becomes no big deal. It becomes part of your normal everyday approach to living a happy, successful life. So from there, you start to come in and get your 60 days or 60 minutes in per day, and things become easier. And you notice that you get more done per hour every minute. You recover faster, and your work density improves. And we're able to burn more energy and expend more energy per hour. So that's when you really start to see that those fat loss changes start to occur, increases in lean body mass, and all those things come together. Now, the next thing to consider is that might work for you for a while, but you really got to realize that some of the most fit people you see out there, people in magazines, people, six-pack abs, competitors, things of that nature, if that is your goal, then you got to realize that 60 minutes, 6 days a week might not be enough. Most competitive, say, figure models to bodybuilders will spend a good 2 hours per day in the gym, and that could be 1 hour of strength training and 30 to 60 minutes of cardiovascular aerobic type training each day to get that really sort of extreme chiseled effect. So if 1 hour per day, 6 days a week seems like a lot to you, then you got to really open your awareness there and understand that these people put a lot of time and effort and commitment to this, and it's not something that happens in 30 days. I've seen people lose 30 pounds plus inside of 30 days and do amazing radical things, but that's not common or normal perhaps. If you can come in and really focus and hit the ground running and you're efficient from the start, you might get something like that. But realize you got to put in your dues and earn that, and really take the pressure off yourself to get to something like that so quick. You don't want to burn yourself out and make this a successful journey to where you stick with this for a lifestyle. Don't be one of those people that say, well, I've tried everything and it didn't work. Well, typically what I see is people try things that it may not be the best plan in the world, but they've never truly committed themselves to it. Had they committed 100% fully for a long enough period of time, they may have experienced a lot more success with it. But considering you're on an optimal program and you give it your all 6 days a week, 60 minutes at a time, you'll start to see these things occur, and you'll become more fit and more fit, and then you do need to take on new, more advanced challenges. If you do the same thing day in, day out, week in, week out, you're maintaining your current state, and you can't expect any kind of physical composition change. So you need to have a scientific approach to this, measuring your work capacity, getting stronger, getting more work done per hour, and be able to track that and measure that on paper in a scientific process. So you know that you're actually outputting more work within that given amount of time, and so you should therefore know if you can perform more work and exercise within that hour, there is compositional changes taking place that you can't maybe necessarily see right away. So you're improving your performance and work output, which means that the muscles are responding and adapting, and you're becoming more fit at the cardiorespiratory level, the musculoskeletal level. All those things are changing positively to make you a better exerciser. And as you become more efficient, you'll get to those 500 calories or more per hour, and then you really can start realizing those benefits. But like I said, from there, if you want six-pack abs, things of that nature, you might have to even do a little bit more to get to that level. You can become extremely fit and healthy and lose a radical amount of weight with 1 hour per day, 6 days a week. But a little bit more might be needed for an advanced result. I've had several people lose over 100 pounds working out just 1 hour per day, 6 days a week, and they've been able to achieve that and maintain that as a lifestyle for several years over now, and have a happy, successful, functional life, and not be one of the statistics where they actually relapse and gain the weight back. So you got to consider all those things going into this. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and you got to really build those elements and be honest with yourself. Are you putting enough into that workout each day, and are you being consistent and showing up each day of the week? There's nothing more stressful that I see with people is that when they only work out, say, 3 days per week, that they got to come in and have all these high expectations for that one workout and have the workout of their life, or they're not getting anywhere too fast, and the pressure is even higher for the next workout, and the workout plan looks like it's incomplete or not capable of doing the work when you're simply not putting enough time and effort into the program. So next we'll look at what should be comprised of say, this template of 6 days at 60 minutes for the week, so you can have a complete fitness program.